We're guests of M3 Servizi Nautici here in Andorra. M3 Servizi Nautici is a distributor for Bavaria motorboats. And we're on the Bavaria 38 Sport HT. That's an extremely interesting boat for both a family and a group of friends. Sailing at weekends, but also for long journeys. It comes equipped with a double-engine Volvo 300 horsepower. It's 12 meters long, maximum beam of about 4 meters, and it draws 1 meter. The boat's ready for us now, ready for the trial. But hang on a minute, we're going to let Maurizio talk about the technical aspects, and the boats, well, we're going to talk about the onboard instruments.
Strumentazione di bordo. In
actual fact, this boat allows a complete instrument test. We went to Navico and we asked where they had installed one of the latest systems that they'd presented at the Genoa Boat Show. And on this boat, in fact, the latest NSE-12 simrad has been installed, with all the radar navigation system, automatic pilot, structure scan, and so on. Well, today we're going out with this boat. We'll try the various available instruments and we'll see what level of trustworthiness these instruments give us while we're sailing. So, come with us at Yacht and Sail and try out the Simrad NSE-12.
Yacht and Sail.
Another special thing about the instruments which are available to us is the structure scan. Its peculiarity is to show not just the underneath of the boat, but also the two sides. This is the visual from beneath the boat, while this is the visual we have linked to the two sides, starboard and port, of the boat. This is the central part, and this the port, and this the starboard. You can see the water running below me, and you can see how clear and sharp the images are. We're approaching, for example, we have all the boats berthed on our right, and here signs of various moorings of the chain sag, which can be seen. We're nearing the exit. See what's below and on the sides, shown in detail. This instrument should be seen as being useful for fishing, obviously, but also with regards to safety. In narrow waters, which can be especially risky, the visual here is so detailed that it allows me to make suitable choices, informed choices, and thus be able to move with a decent level of tranquility. Here on my right are the various rocks of the breakwaters, which are clearly visible. It's as though we're sailing along a canal in complete safety with the boat. It really is an absolutely innovative instrument. It's worth having on board, just for safety reasons. As I was saying before, the Simrad system we've had installed on this boat is an integrated system. We have all the instruments of the boat available, both from a point of view of navigation instruments, but also the instruments needed to sail the boat, including those linked to measuring the speed, and so on. Now let's begin by just taking a look at the basics of the system. It's a cartographical system with a GPS, with high scanning aerial, and a really ample and visible structure of cartography, with easy management of the zoom and therefore an opportunity to control the indications of the outline, the route, and the positioning of the various Y points. Added to this, we have all the other functions available to us on the monitor. Specifically, by turning to a second screen, we have a chance to see what the situation with the radar is. And the radar on this boat really is something quite uncommon. It's a digital broadband radar, which has some really interesting characteristics. Now, as we get closer to a situation with obstacles in the immediate proximity of the boat, the level of the detail becomes ever more extreme. And that provides me with an opportunity not just to have the information already foreseen by the chart, but also everything that surrounds me from a point of view of movement. Not only, but also for mooring. On entering in port, we also need to understand how it's structured and how the moored boats are arranged. Another extremely important characteristic, because it has to do with our health, is the power of radar emission. Any traditional radar has a power which, if compared to that of our normal cell phones, reaches specifically significant numbers, on average about 1,000 cell phones in standby. So, you should know that it's a broadband radar, and that means that the emissions are equal to those of just a single cell phone. Right, well, we've pushed down on the throttle a bit, and we're accelerating, and we're following our route. With our monitor, we have the opportunity to immediately highlight our position and the data of our navigation. Obviously, this information, which is grouped, dealt with and managed by the computer, which is actually inside the NSE-12 simrad, well, this allows me to have a general picture of the situation at any given time. And by simply pressing a button, I can return to the information linked to the plotter and the radar. Obviously, an instrument of this kind, which has a general control of all the on-board instruments, allows me to divide the monitor into various compartments or windows, thanks to the large-sized 12-inch monitor, like the one here on this boat. We can see it in this case. As you can see, by using a simple menu, I can choose what I want to look at. For example, if I want to see the situation of the radar and the chart plotter at the same time, that's possible. I have everything under control. But it's also possible to analyze the situation with regards to returning to the primary structure by simply moving the wheel. Navico systems of this type, which have 3 specific brands available, simrad, Lowrance and B&G, are being developed in the specificity of each of these brands, and we'll be able to see them in other applications of this type too. For example, in the sailing sector. Simrad NSE-12. Really, this is an innovative instrument, a new instrument, presented recently by Navico, and it's an instrument which we at Yacht and Sail have tested for you.